Hi everyone, welcome to Beauty and Midlife Style. I'm Leanne and I'm a certified esthetician and I am located in Canada. So whenever I'm talking to you about anything in my videos and if I mention prices, those will be Canadian prices. So today in my video, what I wanted to talk to you about is at-home manicures and pedicures. The reason I chose this subject this week instead of a skincare video was because our weather is changing. It's starting to get nice out, except for here. Last night we had frost. So usually when the nicer weather comes, and we kind of like to spend a little bit more time on our nails and obviously on our feet because we're breaking out our sandals. But I chose to talk to you about doing it at home because in the economy and the way things are right now, it could save you a little bit of money and it's actually quite easy to do. So to start, I'm going to talk to you about our nails, our hands, manicures. If you don't have great natural nails or you don't want to sort of take the time to grow them out and maybe you've been going to a spa or salon and you've been having your nails done, that can become costly and expensive. So if you wanted to sort of try something new, there are great nails out everywhere. They're in the drugstores, online, certainly on Amazon. So they are like this style of a nail. So they're actually very easy to work with. The whole package gives you instructions of what to do, but you sort of buff your natural nail up a little bit so that the nail will actually stick better. You use nail glue. Usually, sometimes you get nail glue and you get what's called a little nail tab as well to put these on. This is Dashing Diva, this particular one, which they have, they have everything as far as a natural looking nail, something with a little bit of color. There is Kiss Nails, there's Nail It. Those are just some of the ones that you can readily available. Bear It All. They're readily available at Walmart or a Shoppers Drug Mart if you're going to either of those places. There are numerous other brands on Amazon, and you can get almost any shape. Well, you can get any kind of shape, color, style, whatever that you're looking for. And they actually do stay on really well. Like, I work with people who are using these all the time instead of they used to go and get their nails done, and they're using these all the time and they're durable. I worked with a lady, she had like 4 children and she was using these all the time. And they stayed on when she was doing dishes and everything, her housework. And it was actually quite easy. If one sort of popped off, she could put it on again very easily. So if you're looking to do something like that, it's less expensive than going to the salon. I actually love to do a manicure on my own hands. These are my own nails. And I try to do a manicure or a mini manicure at least once a week. I do definitely polish it, but sometimes I change my polish throughout the week as well. So at-home manicures, one of the great things for your nails is when you are going to do the manicure is to soak your nails. This is a manicure dish. You don't need a manicure dish to do that. You can literally put some nice warm water into a dish or a bowl. I also add hair conditioner into mine. And if you wanted to put some essential oils in there, you certainly could. Adding the hair conditioner actually softens the hands and it also softens the cuticle for working after. And it feels nice. So some of my favorite products that I use when I'm doing an at-home manicure is, this one is Sally Hansen and it's the Instant Cuticle Remover. This is what it looks like. As you can see, mine's almost gone. I do have a new bottle, but so this you just take out, you drop it and you drop it all the way around the cuticle. I do it on every single one of mine. I let it sit for a second and then I massage it right into the cuticle all the way around. Let it sit for a couple of minutes, not even, and then I use the little small orange wood sticks that is like this, and I go all around the cuticle, push it back gently. You can if you have hangnails or you have cuticle skin that you need to remove, you can do that. You just want to be very gentle with it because you don't want to cause yourself a cut or because then it has to heal. And if you are diabetic, you definitely don't, I wouldn't recommend doing this on your own at all. I mean, you can give yourself a manicure, but don't clip away your cuticles or your hangnails. I use a cuticle nipper that's like this. If you do look for one of these or purchase one of these, you kind of want to look to make sure that the tip closes all the way. And you need to be very careful when you're using these or handling these because they are very sharp. And then of course you need a good pair of clippers if you need to clip the nail if they're getting long. One of my favorite style of nail files or a nail block are these. This is sort of the style of them. And if you look all around the block, it gives you like polish sign, buff and smooth, and then your file, and then a shape side. So these are really great. The other thing, if you are doing an at-home manicure, you want to be mindful of buffing. So buffing the nail actually, if you buff too long or too hard, you can thin the nail out too much, and you can also thin it so much that the nail becomes weak or there's almost like a slight hole in the nail. So you want to be very careful with that. These are great for fingernails, but also for your toes as well. But again, the buffing part you want to be careful with. I have seen it done on people with manicures and they've buffed out the nails, especially after they've taken off artificial nails and they're going to start to grow their natural nail out, and they've almost, well, I've seen it where there has actually been like a hole in the nail bed and is on the feet as well. So just be super careful when you're doing that and don't buff every single time. That way you won't have to worry about thinning the nail out too much. The other great thing that I love for my natural nails that I use is I use what like a nail grower, a nail strengthener. This one that I use is by Quo, and it's so powerful, and it is a plant-based one. There's no nasties in it at all, and it does a fantastic job. And I actually use this as my base coat. So and every single time that I do my nails, whether I'm just changing the polish or I'm giving myself a manicure, I will put this on. The other thing is if you're soaking your nails, the other thing you can put in your nails, if your nails are discolored, definitely put the conditioner in, but you can also put a lemon juice in there, and that will help a little bit as well for the discoloration of the nail. The other thing is this product is also to help grow your nails. This is a great company. We sold tons and tons and tons of this in COVID. It is repair care for the nail. This we sold all during COVID when women needed to get their nails off because they couldn't get them filled, and then they were left with their nail bases were weak or very soft, and they needed to regrow the base of their nail or strengthen the base of their nail. And this product is fantastic for that as well. Much more expensive than this one, but definitely worth it if you are going to remove your nails from the salon and you want to make your base grow and be stronger. This is definitely worth the money. So some of my favorites for nail polish this top coat is a Sally Hansen Miracle Gel top coat. And then this is CND Vinyl Luxe, also a gel style top coat. These two top coats I use over every nail polish that I use. It makes the nail polish last longer. They don't chip, and you do not need a UV light for these at all. Essence Couture also has their top coat, again, a gel style top coat, but you do not have to cure these under a UV light. You just put them on, your polish lasts longer. And the one thing you will need is you will need an acetone nail polish remover in order then to remove your nail polish when you're changing it out. So I'm going to show you a few of my favorite companies for nail polishes that I find last when I use them and using these top coats. If you want to be very economical, and you're like me and you love nail polish, but you don't want to be spending a whole bunch of money on your nail polish all the time, this is Essence. I've talked about this company before for makeup, but they actually do have a nail polish line. I think these retail for around $3.99. They change out the colors, so there are trending colors, and then they also keep some of the neutral colors in their lineup all the time. So they're really great. The next one that I use, it's also, I would say, on the less expensive side of nail polish, although nail polish has increased greatly in price, is this one. This is Sally Hansen's Insta-Dry. And I have so many of these in so many colors. I love how this goes on. I love the brush on these. This is the style of the brush. And again, when I do these, I just use this top coat to make it last longer. If you're wanting to buy the polishes that go with this one, this is the polish that goes with it. And you'll see it says step 1 and this says step 2 on it. And again, I have like several of these. If I am wanting it to really stay, for whatever reason, like Christmas time, if I'm extremely busy, I will pair the step 1 of the gel with the top coat, just because they are made to work together, and I find that they do last a little bit longer, especially on the tips of the nails. And I'm very hard on my nails, just so you know. I'm always doing dishes, doing housework. I have a farm here, so I go outside and I work. I love to garden, so I'm not easy on my nails at all. And that is why I love these top coats. Love Essie Couture. They're different ones. They stay on extremely well. So another great nail polish. And then, of course, my other all-time favorite is OPI. So this is the OPI is a nail lacquer, which is supposed to be longer lasting nail polish than just regular ordinary nail polish. But again, I use these, and I just use those top coats that I talked about, and they're fantastic. If you are looking to sort of bump up your nail polish, get, a little bit of nail art going on, there is nail art kits now everywhere. This one is a Quo, which is a Shoppers Drug Mart brand. I already have had one of these kits, and I picked up another new one just for the video because I didn't want to necessarily show you mine. But so this comes with, it says 6 stencil designs and the different ends of the actual instruments themselves. So you can do like polka dots, you can paint on, there's a super fine brush, whatever you want to do, or you can actually use the stencils that are in behind as well. The other little thing that I actually like, and I do once in a while, is this is Dashing Diva, like the nails that I showed you, the glue-on gel style nails. But these are their little decos, and they come out with these different times throughout the year. And you just lift them off and put them onto the nail. It gives you an easy way of doing nail art. I tend to use these a little bit more in seasonal time, like Christmas and different times of the year, but they are fun. The other thing I always say is, like, hey, if you've got like a good girlfriend and you want to do an evening in or an afternoon in with the two of you, or however many of you, you can do each other's nails. It's kind of fun, and that way, if you're, in my case, I'm left-handed, and so I'm strong with my left hand, and of course my right hand is weaker. Now, I've been doing nails for a long time, being an esthetician, but sometimes one hand looks better than the other for that reason. So sometimes it's great if you can trade off with a girlfriend. Okay, so then the other thing that I absolutely love for at-home manicures are masks, and these are hand masks. This one, as you can see, is a Life brand mask. Of course, it's from Shoppers Drug Mart. They retail for around $4.99. They go on sale all the time. And even sometimes they do like 2 for $4 or whatever, and then you can mix and match them. But This one is the Nourishing Hand Mask. This one has shea butter and avocado. I've been using these. I think I bought my first one like 2 weeks after I started at Shoppers Drug Mart. I do work there, by the way. But they don't sponsor my videos in any way. I just mentioned them because they're a Canadian drugstore, and if you're going there and it's convenient, then you can get those items. So I love these masks. They're a nice treat, whether you're doing a manicure or even if you're just like, lots of times I will put it on in the evening if I'm just reading, or if I happen to have time to watch something. I don't have TV, but we do have Netflix and we have Prime. So if I end up watching something like that and I'm sitting and I think about it, I will put one of these on. Your hands are so hydrated after. They're so soft. They look younger. They do a great job. The other thing that I love to do whenever I give myself a manicure is I use a scrub on my hands. So I always soak and then I use a scrub. And it takes off all the dead skin and softens the hands up. So as far as scrubs go, I recommend sugar scrubs as opposed to salt scrubs because they're less drying. And if you have a body scrub, you can certainly use that for your manicure, so you don't have to go out and buy a special scrub. But if you don't want to purchase a scrub, if you're trying to save a little bit, then you can make your own at home. And again, I would recommend sugar over salt. Now, this is Derma sugar. This is the only kind of sugar that I have in my home. And you can just take a little bit of this and you can simply mix it with olive oil if you want. You can use coconut oil if you want. I wouldn't recommend using like vegetable oil, but olive oil and coconut oil, if you have those, you can mix it together with them. The other reason why I'm saying that I use this sugar is, so this is a natural source of sugar. There are other types of sugar, and if that's what you have in your house, that's fine. This is not processed and it's not bleached, so this is my preference. And the body, of course, is a huge part of your first mechanism of the different symptoms of the systems of the body. So definitely, things from your body go into your skin and go into your body. So that's why I prefer that one. And you can also use this up and mix it for your feet as well. So for hands, I don't think I forgot anything at all, but so that's kind of like an economical, budget-friendly way for doing manicures or your nails if you want to use the press-on nails. And you can maybe even do that with a girlfriend. Or if you have a partner that wants to do it with you, then even better. So the next thing is pedicures. So when I worked in a spa full-time, and I also had a spa of my own, I loved doing pedicures, and they are so good for you. The one thing you do want to be careful with when you're doing a pedicure is, and if you're going to do it at home, you want to be mindful if you're a diabetic, if you have a flare-up of eczema, psoriasis, that type of thing, you want to be very careful with your skin in those cases for sure. So when I do a pedicure, I do use a cradle blade with an actual blade in it. I didn't show it today in the video just because not everyone, in my opinion, should be using those. You can cut yourself very badly with them, which could lead to an infection. And if you're diabetic, you definitely want to avoid it altogether. There are things like foot pedals, though. So you can get them and they have two sides. Again, depending on the condition of your feet, you want to be very gentle with these as well. I'm showing you a plastic one. There are wooden ones, which are fantastic. The reason I'm showing you this one is because it's plastic. And the thing is if you buy a wooden paddle, and if you leave it in your shower and you don't take it out to dry after, eventually they go black and they do carry mold. So if you like to use these in the shower to give your feet once the season starts, or maybe you do it throughout the winter, just to paddle your feet while you're in the shower, that's great, but you want to make sure that you rinse them off, clean them off, disinfect them, and then let them dry, because they will hold bacteria inside of these. So I'm a big component of making sure that they're clean. So you can soak your feet if you have the time to do that. A foot bath is great. Whenever I do a foot bath, I put different things in the foot bath, like Epsom salts in the foot bath. I do put some conditioner in the foot bath. You can treat yourself and put essential oils in there, whatever you like. Again, if you don't have a foot bath, you don't have to go out and buy a foot bath. If you have like a larger dish tray, or you have something that you can soak your feet in, or if you just want to soak your feet for a little bit in the bathtub, then when you're giving yourself a pedicure, it's always best to soak your feet, because you're going to try to work that dead skin off, and also your cuticles on your toenail beds. So again, orange wood stick can work around the cuticle. So a couple of my favorites for if you're kind of don't have the time to do all the steps, and you can definitely create your own foot mask at home if you wanted to do that. So then you would soak your feet, and when it came, you would use a scrub on it, and then you would want to put maybe your favorite lotion all over your feet, and then you can actually put your feet in a plastic bag, a plastic Ziploc bag if you like, and do it that way. Or there are, again, wonderful foot masks. This, again, is the Nourishing Moisturizing Foot Mask. And just so you know, these masks, I did look, they have their own version at Walmart on these, and then they also have versions of different types of masks on Amazon. If you like to go through Amazon, I would encourage you to, when you're looking, look at the ingredients though that are in the masks. So if there are some of them have like glycolic in it and different acids, lactic acid, those type of things, which is great as long as you're not irritated. If you have a breakout of eczema, psoriasis, or a dermatitis, or if you're diabetic and your feet are raw, you do not want to use those types of masks. The other thing, you want to look for like whether it has fragrance in it, and if you're fragrance sensitive or not. You also want to look at things like, are they paraben free? There's different masks, look at them. Although when I went on Amazon today and looked at them, they do have ones on there that are fabulous, the ingredients. They do even have some Korean ones. And they actually, I think, run around $20 some for like 4 masks in them. So that is a very good price as well. The other type of foot mask that you can do if you are in a hurry are these. These are the exfoliating foot masks. And again, read the ingredients. Some of them contain glycolic, lactic acid. Some of them just use citrus acids in them. Some of them have salicylic in them. So that is the active ingredient that's literally helping peel the skin, and these will peel. That is their job. So when you put this on and you wear it for the allotted amount of time, which is usually 15 to 20 minutes, but read whichever mask you get if you do buy one. And then usually your feet will peel for a week, and literally it peels off the skin. It's peeling off dead skin and calloused skin, and then your feet are soft and wonderful. So again, if you're going to use these, you're definitely not going to probably put on your sandals or and expose your feet for the amount of time that the peeling is going on. So that is something you could actually start with if you wanted to. This before you, I don't know what your weather is like, but here I'm definitely not wearing my sandals right now. It's too cold for me. But you can go to the moisturizing ones, which are great. And I always recommend, so when I was doing pedicures regularly, people always said, oh my God, after I have a pedicure, I sleep so well. And I always used to spend a little bit of extra time on the massage part of the foot to help them relax. And that evening they would sleep extremely well. So I always do mine usually in the evening because I do find that you sleep great when you get into bed after having one of these. And I always use lavender in mine and orange oil to help with the relaxing sleeping factor. So that is really it for manicures and pedicures. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible and economical as possible for you today. I hope you liked what I had to offer, and if you did, maybe you would share my video with a friend or you would subscribe. The other thing is I'm going to give you two other little masks quickly, and that's these two. So Neostrata, these are face masks. So if you're like have a hand mask on or a foot mask on and you want to put a face mask on, why not? So these, this one by Neostrata is my absolute favorite. It is a pure hyaluronic biocellulose mask, which means that once you finish with the mask, it breaks down completely. When you wear this mask, when you take it off, your skin will glow. It will be plumped. It's fantastic. I highly recommend this if you're going to an event. Use it beforehand. So these retail around $10.99, I believe. Neostrata is available through, obviously, they're online. And it's also available, Neostrata is available at Shoppers Drug Mart as well. These are made in Korea, by the way. Or if you want one that's not quite at that price point, a little less expensive, this one is also great and it's less expensive. They're the OK masks, again, available at Shoppers, or probably have a version of them at Walmart as well. Also made in Korea. I always encourage you, again, if you're purchasing these, read the ingredients on the back. Make sure that there's nothing in there that's going to irritate you, because if you have, you're allergic to something in particular, you want to be careful what you're doing with these. Again, face masks also available on Amazon, and great prices there. And of course, read the ingredients before you purchase. Okay, everyone, thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great weekend. It is Friday here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.